Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Jack Abramoff, former D.C. lobbyist and author of Capital Punishment, The Hard Truth About Washington Corruption from America's Most Notorious Lobbyists. Jack, welcome back, sir.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's focus on Hillary here. And you heard at the top Josh Earnest yesterday saying that, wouldn't rule out a pardon on the way out the door by Barack Obama for Hillary Clinton. What do you think of that? What do you think of the possibility? And what if Obama actually does it? Doesn't that really become a part of his really horrific legacy?
I think that basically seals his legacy. Even far worse, by the way, than Bill Clinton's legacy was sealed by those pardons that he gave at the end for people who paid off the Clinton family, including Mark Rich and others. And I think if Barack Obama does this, it would be a massive mistake. I can't even imagine that he would do it, because why would he sacrifice his legacy for somebody who he's never seemed to like very much? So I can't imagine he would do it. And if he did it, it would be horrible. What a message he would be sending.
Yeah. And in their non-answer yesterday, Ernest seemed to imply that it would be Trump's fault if he did it, because Trump is so out there, is so outrageous in his rhetoric as an incoming president, unprecedented, that in order to protect poor little Hillary from the wrath of Trump and the promise of jailing her unjustly in their mind, this is something that the president would have to do. And I'm sure he would explain it that way if he ever did it.
Well, I mean, it's, of course, idiocy, because Hillary has likely committed crimes. So the question is Hillary ever going to be prosecuted for her crimes? I have to be honest with you, I actually don't think the Trump administration will move forward on prosecuting Hillary. I think they'll be advised strongly against it, because the media, the mainstream media, will spend their entire time making it out as if Trump is some dictator who's punishing his political opponents, as opposed to somebody who is adjudicating proper justice. So I think they'll probably not do it. I think they'll go after the Clinton Foundation, probably shut it down, and probably go after some other smaller fish, but I don't see them going after Hillary. So the likelihood is that Hillary and Bill, by the way, Bill is as complicit in these crimes as Hillary is, will likely skate at the end of the day. But frankly, if that's the price we have to pay to get rid of them, so we don't have to see them any longer, I, for one, am willing to pay.
Now you've talked openly about your time in prison, and I think you've recently said that you've met people who went to jail for a lot less than what Hillary has done. Am I accurate in that description? Most
of the people I was in prison with did far less than Hillary and Bill did, just based on what I've heard. The main crime they seem to have committed is called honest services fraud, which is in essence the selling of the government. I'm sure there's obstruction of justice and other things like perjury in there too, but that's the one that just sort of sticks out to me. And there were people, including me, by the way, I pled to that. I pled to honest services fraud based on the fact that I was involved in, unfortunately, activity that involved public servants getting contributions, campaign contributions, et cetera, and then doing things. So the bottom line is she has done these things clearly. And she delivered meetings to people who, while she was Secretary of State, and that is a deliverable from a public servant. But again, I don't expect, for the sake of moving on, I don't expect we're going to see her prosecuted. I also can't imagine that Barack Obama is going to pardon her. But it may be, by the way, that today, when they're alone together, that's the thing that he talks to Trump about.
About a pardon or not going after Hillary, that kind of thing?
Right, whether or not Trump is planning to prosecute her personally, which may cause him to have to do that. I don't know. Again, I tend to doubt Barack Obama is going to entail himself on behalf of Hillary and Bill Clinton, who have committed crimes.
Interesting. What about the lobbying reform that Donald Trump has talked about, the 5-year moratorium on anybody serving in the government from going on to lobby, once they leave the government? Are you behind that? You favor that?
I'm not only in favor of that, I'm in favor of everything he came forward with when he presented his lobbying reform. And it contains so many important and good elements. And if his administration starts out by pushing these things, I think it will be a big message to the country that he, in fact, is the outsider, that he, in fact, is going to clean up, as they say, drain the swamp. that's here. And doing those things are critically important. Some of them he can do through executive order. Some of them he can do by changing some of the rules of the administration. But most of them have to be done by Congress. But I think he would take an incredible moral leadership position if he would head to Capitol Hill and ask them to sacrifice their futures as lobbyists and the contributions they're getting from lobbyists and make these steps. It would be magnificent and very important for the country.
Jack, it's always great to talk to you, sir. Thank you so much for coming on with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Jack Abramoff, ladies and gentlemen, and check out the book, The Hard Truth. I'm sorry, Capital Punishment is the name of the book. Capital Punishment, The Hard Truth About Washington Corruption for America's Most Notorious Lobbyists. All right, could we put back, and I'm going to throw the control room curve, could we put back the White House? At this moment, as we speak, Donald Trump and Barack Obama are meeting inside the White House. And as soon as they come out, and if they come to the microphones, we will try to bring that to you live right here on America Talks Live. So keep it where it is. It should be a very interesting picture, if nothing else, to see the two of them standing side by side after their meeting. And I can't wait, actually. So what does Trump's victory mean for not only this country and the nation's relationship, though, with Israel post-Obama? Mort Klein, president of the Zionist Organization of America, will be here. He will answer all of those questions, and it's coming up next.